What is good, YouTube fam? So right now I'm currently sitting in Vermont. As you guys can see, it's dumping snow right now. I'm literally sitting on a massive snow mound, just chilling right here. But what we're gonna be doing for today's video, or my Vermont video, I guess you could say, I told you guys I was gonna make a video here, is basically just a Q&A, but I'm gonna be snowboarding all day, right? And just answering questions randomly throughout the day. So I might be on the lift, I might be chilling in the middle of a trail and get hit by someone while I'm answering a question. I might be literally going off a jump, answering a question mid-jump. Probably not that. But yeah, basically just gonna answer a bunch of questions. It's gonna be like a Q&A type video. And then later we're gonna go head over to the gym that's like right down the road over here. I've been there before. I was there last year. If you guys saw that video, if you guys are them OGs and you were here a whole year ago. But yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna hit back later. So I'm gonna bring you guys through that entire workout and talk a little bit about training, like while you're on vacation, and you know, how to modify your workouts, that type of thing. But yeah, it's gonna be a super cool video. Yeah, definitely stay tuned, enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you guys. All right, so I'm currently chilling on the halfway point of the mountain. So at Pico, how the mountain works is basically you have to come up halfway to then take a lift to get to the top. They don't have any like gondolas all the way to the top. So I'm gonna take a run. Then I'm gonna go from the halfway point all the way to the top. But while we're chilling here right now, the first question that I wanted to answer was, how do I gain size and strength at the same time? And that's kind of a question that I get all the time, so that's why I want to answer it first. And it's really a simple answer, guys. Basically, if you're training for strength, you are training for hypertrophy indirectly. If your goal is to strictly lift the heaviest bench, squat, and deadlift number humanly possible, and that's your only goal, for certain periods of time, you're not going to be doing enough hypertrophy, because to really peak your 1 rep max, you're not going to want to do a shit ton of hypertrophy. And the reason for that is because you're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to be at your best to lift your heaviest weights. So you'll see a lot of power lifters, a lot of top end power lifters not do too much hypertrophy during the powerlifting season, but in the off season they should be training like bodybuilders so that they gain more muscle mass. As you gain more muscle mass, you're going to be able to get stronger. But long story short, if you're trying to gain strength and you're also trying to gain aesthetics at the same time, like you want to be strong and you want to look strong and look good, then what you need to be doing is getting on a program where you start out with your bench, squat, and deadlift. You start out with your heavy compounds, the movements that are basically going to get you really strong. And then after those movements, right, you're going to want to focus on hypertrophy movements, right? So all the accessory movements, like for example, if you're doing a push day and you start out with the bench press, and then let's just say you do some seated dumbbell shoulder press, right? And then after that, you're gonna wanna move into your laterals, you're gonna wanna move into face pulls, your tricep extensions, all those things, and you're gonna wanna focus on not just lifting the heaviest amount of weight possible, you're gonna wanna maximize the time under tension and maximize the use of the muscle. So for example, if I'm in the gym, right, and I'm doing tricep pushdowns with the whole entire stack, I can do that, right, for a 3x10, but it's gonna be shittier form. I'm not gonna be getting as good of time under tension because I'm gonna be using like my elbow joints. I'm gonna be like, it's just not going to be as beneficial for growing muscle. So what I would say is, after you do your heavy compound movements, move into your hypertrophy movements and really focus on actually hitting the muscle rather than just using a super heavy weight. You want to be lifting as heavy as possible for certain rep ranges, but you don't want to be compromising form and just using your ego to lift that weight. So yeah, basically start out with your heavy compound movements, and then after that, jump into whatever hypertrophy exercises you want or you like or your program says to jump into, and do this with really good form. Don't compromise technique just to lift a little bit more. All right, so the next question I'm going to answer real quick is, how do you choose the foods that you eat when you find the amount of calories you're supposed to be eating? For example, let's just say you're cutting down, right, and it says to eat 2,200 calories, right? Great, I'm supposed to eat 2,200 calories, this many fat, carbs, and protein, but what type of food should I eat to make up that specific fat, carbon, protein, and calorie amount? Now, how you go about that is actually not remotely as hard as a lot of people try to make it out to be. What you want to do is just make sure that you're getting the daily recommended dose of fruits and vegetables, which is like 2 to 3 servings of fruit and 2 to 3 servings of vegetables per day. And then how you get your fat, carbs, and protein really doesn't matter while you're on a bulk, because you're getting so many calories that your body is gonna have the nutrition to get you through the day. You're not gonna feel tired, you're not gonna feel shitty, you're not gonna feel weak in the gym. While you're cutting though, What you really want to do is basically eat foods that are going to give you the best bang for your buck. And what I mean by that are eat foods that are the lowest in calories but the most satiating. For example, eating a shit ton of fruits, vegetables, a lot of fiber. Look up foods that have a lot of fiber in them. Basically, you just want to be able to have a lot of food volume within your calorie amount. So for example, if you're eating 2,200 calories a day, instead of eating 2 meals that are 2,200 calories, try to eat 5 meals that are 2,200 calories with more fiber, more fruits and veggies, and that will satiate you more, so you won't have any issues of, you know, feeling shitty in the gym and that type of thing. And if you're bulking, just make sure, like I said, 2 to 3 servings of fruits and veggies a day. And then however else you want to get those calories, honestly doesn't matter. Especially if you're a hard gainer, you can literally eat your calories however you want. You can throw in those burgers, pizza, all that stuff once you hit your micros for the day. All right, so this is a really good question. I think pretty much all of you can benefit from this one. And somebody asked me, how should I know when to take a deload week? And like, should I feel something in my body? Like, how do I know exactly when to take one? Sorry if the wind's really bad, but for those of you guys who don't know what a deload week is, what a deload week is basically a week, right? It's basically a week where you take everything way easier than you usually do. You're not training for progressive overload. You're not training to get bigger or stronger that week. You're simply training to keep your motor pathways for your lifts, so you don't actually, you know what I mean, lose the motor pathways. The movement doesn't feel foreign to you. So that the only reason why you're actually going to the gym is to keep the motor pathways in check. Now, what a deload week is meant for is basically to recover your central nervous system and also just your overall body. If you're lifting for 6 months straight, you're going to need to take a week, or however long it is, you're going to need to take a break at some point, because you're going to burn yourself out. Your central nervous system is the main thing. When you're lifting for a long period of time, your central nervous system gets extremely blown out and you're not able to lift at the same capacity you were before. How you will know when you should take a deload week is when you start feeling weak for no reason, right? So let's just say you're eating right, all your meals are on point, you slept a good amount that night, and just everything's completely fine. You have enough water in you, you might have taken some pre-workout, and for no reason you're not gaining strength, you're not getting stronger. That's when you know that your central nervous system is blown out. All right, we're getting off the lift. I just got to the top, but basically what I was saying is you want to take a week off of lifting super hard and super heavy. And how I like to go about my deloads, when you feel like you need the deload, like I just said, when you're completely pooped out, then what you want to do in the week for the deload is basically train for 4 days, right? You're going to go in every other day on your deload, and you're going to hit your bench, squat, and deadlift, and you're going to do those lifts for 3 sets of 3 on all 4 days. But you're only going to lift at 55% of your 1 rep max. So you're gonna lift extremely light, and you're just keeping that central nervous system nice and used to doing the movement, but you're not doing any progressive overload. You're not stressing the muscles really much at all. And then after you do your 3 sets of 3 on those 4 days, if you wanna go into doing a little bit more hypertrophy, like an arm workout, or do some extra accessory movements, that's fine in my opinion, that's what I do. But just don't go in and do an incredibly long hypertrophy workout after, because the whole point of this week is to really let yourself heal. So if you want to do some arms after your 3x3, that's fine, but just don't get carried away with it. All right, so the next question I wanted to answer, I got this asked about 437 billion times. Lighting, angles, knowing how to take the right picture. Basically, guys, when you take a picture, right, you can take a picture in proper lighting, shitty lighting, decent lighting. You can take the picture a million times till you get the right one, or you can just take one picture and go home, which is what most people do, right? So I'm completely in tune with how my physique's gonna look the best, what pose is gonna look the best for me. That's why I have no front double bicep poses on my entire channel, and all the stuff you guys see is mainly like me doing some side poses, stuff like that, because it accentuates me the best, or my frontmost muscle. So somebody asked me, what's my motivation for literally wanting to come to the gym 6 days a week? How do I not lose motivation and just stay so on track with my dieting and my training all the time? Now, the answer to that is because, in my opinion, right, when you have such a vision in something, you love something so much, it pulls you. Like, you don't have to be pushed towards it. I was so insecure when I first started lifting. I literally hated my body, hated how I looked. I just didn't feel good. Lifting gave me such confidence. It gave me a new aspect of life that I could enjoy. Going to the gym and improving, killing it, just being able to get my mind off other things. What I would say is there's not every single day that I'm super motivated to go hit a PR. There's certain days where I know I'm gonna go in the gym, not feel good, didn't get food, didn't get sleep, I'm on vacation, this, that, or the other thing, but I still do it because I know what my end goal is. I know how I want to look in the end. I know what I want to achieve strength-wise, and there are things that are just so deeply ingrained in me that no matter how I feel, I know that to achieve my end goal, I'm going to have to put in a certain amount of work, and I can't just skip the gym when I feel like it. I would say to keep yourself on track is when you're on track, just do everything it takes to stay on track. For example, don't skip the gym, don't skip that meal, just do what it takes, because if you do what it takes on the days that you don't really want to do it, the days that you do want to do it are 50 million times better. And the longer you do things that you don't want to do on days that you don't want to do them, then you'll adopt the mentality of, okay, this is what I absolutely have to do. I've done it before, and if I want to reach this end goal, I'm gonna have to go fucking train. I'm gonna have to eat this meal. So it'll be easier to do the things you don't want to do on shitty days if you just push through it on the bad days, is basically what I'm saying. All right, guys, so I literally just got over to the gym like a second ago, and real quick, I want to show you guys, right, what my physique looks like in just normal lighting conditions, zero pump, all that type of stuff. And then I'm going to show you guys like a little physique walkthrough, and then I'm going to show you guys what I look like with good lighting, good pump, and all that stuff. Yeah, I just want to show you guys the comparison, just because I feel like it's definitely a massive comparison. I've seen other people do this, so it's definitely going to surprise a lot of you guys, so let's do it. The last thing I'm going to answer real quick is just my personal stats, because I get asked that all the time. So my current bench max is 350, and I did that at 175 pounds. So I think I can definitely do like more than that, like around 365, 375 now. So I'm going to try that soon. The best squat I've ever done was 520 at around 175. I can for sure do more than that now. My best deadlift, 655 sumo at around the same thing, around 175, but I'm gonna break that PR soon as well. So those are my PRs, and then I currently weigh 5'8". No, I'm 5'8", and I also weigh 185 on the bulk. So that's for all those people who are curious about that. Now I'm gonna jump into the workout. I'm gonna put the entire workout up on a black screen before I start it, and yeah, then we're gonna jump into it. So let's do it.
El beat de producer.
guys, training in altitude is literally 76.743 times harder than not training in altitude. So that workout took a lot out of me, even though I didn't go super heavy, didn't do anything crazy. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go home, enjoy the rest of the time I have here with my family. And then when I get home from Vermont, I'm gonna get ready to actually go visit Brandon, Hardbody, Harding, the Savage. So that's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. We're gonna go there, have a shit ton of fun with Brandon, film a bunch of dope content for you guys that you guys are gonna like. So yeah, man, that's gonna be the end of this video. Sorry I didn't really get any snowboarding footage at all. It was just, I didn't have anyone to film me. I didn't come with any friends or any videographers or anything. So literally just had no way to do that. Anyways, guys, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. If you guys have a really good question, something that's not super generic and easy to look up, I'm gonna try to answer it. Drop your comments down below. Anyways, I always start to ramble at the end of the video. All pissed at